to this explainer. Okay, today we're literally putting on our trench coats, grabbing our magnifying glasses, and stepping into the role of grammar time detectives. We're going to solve the mysteries of two of the absolute most important and, let's be real, often most confusing advanced English tenses, the present perfect and the past perfect.
So, have you ever struggled with English tenses? Honestly, I know I have. And hey, I actually just used our target grammar right there to ask you that. You know, these tenses are notoriously tricky traps for learners, mostly because they force us to think about time in layers. But don't sweat it. By treating these grammar rules as like clues at a crime scene, we're going to crack this code together.
All right, here's our roadmap for today. First, the present perfect bridge. Second, tracking time and signals. Third, dodging common mistakes. Fourth, entering the past perfect. And finally, the ultimate past timeline. Let's dive in.
Section 1. The present perfect bridge, connecting then and now. So, what is it? The present perfect is basically a tense connecting the past with the present. We use it for life experiences, actions that have just recently happened, or situations that started way back when and are still going on right now. It is absolutely vital. I mean, it's not just some dusty textbook formula. It's the specific, everyday tool English speakers use to pull past experiences right into today's reality. Okay, before we do our actual detective work, we gotta know how this tool is built, right? The formula relies on a subject, an auxiliary verb, and a past participle. If your subject is I, you, we, or they, your auxiliary is have. If it's he, she, or it, you use has. Then you just pair that with the past participle, the third form of the verb. It's a pretty simple mechanical ground rule. Got it? Awesome. Now let's get straight to the fun part of actually using it.
Now, there are 4 major uses for this tense. First up, we have experience. Like saying, they have climbed Mount Everest, or she has never eaten sushi. Notice you don't say exactly when it happened. The focus is completely on the life experience you're carrying with you today. Second is the present result. Imagine you're standing there and say, "Oh no, I have lost my keys." The action happened in the past, but the result, you standing outside a locked door, is, well, very much visible right now. Third is the unfinished time period. Think of saying, "I have drunk 3 cups of coffee today." Today isn't over yet. And fourth, duration, which describes a situation that started in the past and continues right into the present.
Moving on to Section 2, tracking time and signals, the detective's clues. All right, these are your glaring clues. Whenever you spot these signal words, your present perfect alarm should immediately start ringing. Already means it happened sooner than expected, like I have already finished. Yet is used for questions and negatives, so have you eaten yet? Just tells you it happened literally moments ago. She has just arrived. Then we have ever and never, which map perfectly to our life experiences. And finally, recently points to a non-specific time in the near past. These words are literal triggers for the tense. Keep an eye out for them.
Now here's a really interesting grammatical contrast. For versus since. Honestly, these two little words confuse learners constantly. So we use for when we're talking about a period of time, a duration, for 2 hours, for 3 days, for a long time. On the flip side, we use since when we pinpoint a highly specific starting point in the past. Since 2 o'clock, since Monday, since I was a child. Basically, For measures the length, and since marks the start.
Okay, Section 3. Dodging common mistakes. The trapdoors.
Let's look at a glaring mistake. Imagine saying, I have seen him yesterday. Okay, why is this a trap? Because yesterday is a highly specific finished time marker. The present perfect bridge completely collapses if you tie it to a finished past time. The correct way to say this is to just use the past simple. I saw him yesterday. Rule of thumb, never ever mix finished time markers with the present perfect. Here's another incredibly common trap to immediately reinforce the rule we just learned. Someone might say, I have been here since 3 hours. Wait, remember our rule? 3 hours is a duration, right? A period of time. Therefore, since is completely the wrong tool. The correct, beautifully structured sentence is, I have been here for 3 hours.
So, another absolutely crucial point is that you must remember your correct past participles. Take this sentence, she has went to the market. This falls right into the trap of using the simple past form went. Actually, scratch that. The third form, the past participle of go, is gone. Dodging this trap simply requires memorizing those irregular verbs so you can confidently say, she has gone to the market.
Up next, Section 4. Entering the past perfect. The time machine.
Now we're shifting gears. The past perfect is affectionately known as the past of the past. We use it to describe an action that was completely finished before another action took place in the past. It's basically our ultimate tool for ordering multiple historical events seamlessly, without totally confusing whoever is listening to us. And you can go ahead and breathe a huge sigh of relief here. Unlike the present perfect, which forces you to choose between have and has, the past perfect formula is incredibly straightforward. The auxiliary verb is just had, and it is exactly the same for all subjects. I had, you had, she had, they had. Just pair had with your past participle, and your time machine is fully fueled and ready to go. So much easier, right?
Finally, the ultimate past timeline, ordering events.
Let's visualize this grammar for a second. Imagine we're standing at now over on the far right. Looking backward, we see two separate events in history. The later action happened in the past, so we just use the standard past simple for that. But what about the earlier action, the thing that happened before that past simple action? Well, we map that using the past perfect. It perfectly plots out the entire sequence of events, so there's zero confusion.
Let's apply that timeline to a classic example. When I arrived at the station, the train had already left. Okay, let's break it down. Your arrival at the station happened in the past, so arrived is past simple. But oh no, there's a problem. The train leaving happened even earlier than your arrival. So to clearly show which event happened first, we put the train's departure into the past perfect. It had already left. Makes sense, right?
And just like before, your time detective toolkit needs signal words. When you're using the past perfect, keep your eyes peeled for words like already, by the time, before, after, and when. These words are basically the glue that connects your two past actions. They signal perfectly clearly to the listener which event triggered the time machine to go back even further. For instance, after he had checked his work, he submitted it. All right, to wrap up our investigation today, I want to leave you with the really satisfying mental puzzle about something called reported speech. Think about this. If your friend directly says to you, I have lost my phone, using the present perfect, how do you report that to someone else later? Do you shift it one step back in time using your new detective skills? Like, does have lost transform into had lost? I'll leave you to investigate that mystery on your own. Keep practicing, keep investigating, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.